Hi guys, welcome back. Now, to continue with our studies on Unit 6, we are going to work with a little of pronunciation now, okay? So for those who have their books with them, we're on page 120. If you don't have your books with you, no problems at all, as I told you before, because we are going to cover this right now. Okay, so we're working with Unit 6 and we're going to take a look at a sound that is very common for us Brazilian Portuguese speakers because we have this sound in Portuguese. Sometimes when we work with pronunciation, it gets a little confusing for us because then you can think like, okay, but I know how to do this sound. Yeah, but it's really important when we're learning a language to understand that some sounds of one language, they connect in a way which is different from another language. So today, for example, we're going to be talking about the sound j, right? Which is very common in Brazilian Portuguese because we say relógio, right? We say região, okay? So this sound is common for us, but when we transport this sound into the chain of sounds in the English language, this sound gets a little bit different. So it's really important for us to practice, okay? So for starters, let's take a look here. We are here working with the j sound. This is the way we can put this sound into a symbol, right? So we can write it down. So what we're going to do now, we're going just to read and listen to this small conversation over here in number 1, okay? So for now, let's just listen the conversation. Are you ready? Let's go.
Welcome to Movie Night Television. Our guest is Tom Potts, who stars in an unusual thriller called Asian Treasure. Why did you decide to take on this role?
It was a difficult decision, Helen. I play the part of an amazing illusionist.
There are so many collisions and explosions in the movie that I thought you would never find that treasure.
It's true. Occasionally, I was frightened for my own life.
And the conclusion is certainly surprising.
All right, so could you notice how many times the j sound is pronounced? That's interesting. What I want you to do now, I hope you can see that in this conversation we have some of the S's painted in blue, and all the time this S is painted in blue, it means we're talking about the j sound, which is one of the differences from Brazilian Portuguese to English, because in Brazilian Portuguese usually the j sound is related to the letters G or to the letter J, right? But in English, we can have this j sound more often with the letter S, okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to listen to this one more time, right? And then I want you to really pay attention, close attention to the S's and the j pronunciation that they have, okay? So let's do this now. Once again, let's listen.
Welcome to Movie Night Television. Our guest is Tom Potts, who stars in an unusual thriller called Asian Treasure. Why did you decide to take on this role?
It was a difficult decision, Helen. I play the part of an amazing illusionist.
There are so many collisions and explosions in the movie that I thought you would never find that treasure.
It's true. Occasionally, I was frightened for my own life.
And the conclusion is certainly surprising.
All right, so maybe now you could listen to the je sound a little bit more because we're talking about it right now. But look here, we have the word television, right? So repeat with me, television. Then we have the word unusual. Repeat after me, unusual. Then we have the words Asian and treasure. So repeat after me, Asian, treasure. Good. Later we have the word decision. So repeat after me, decision. Nice. And then we have the word illusionist. Illusionist. Repeat after me, illusionist. And then we have the words collision and explosions. So repeat after me, collisions, explosions. Nice. And then we have again the word treasure. And down here we have the word occasionally. So repeat after me, occasionally. Good. This is a bit more difficult, right? Because it's a longer word. And then we have to say occasionally, right? And at the end we have the word conclusion, right? So repeat after me, conclusion. Very good, guys. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to listen to this one more time, and after, when we finish this video, I want you to try to say this, pronounce this conversation over here, and try to really practice the j sound, right? If you want to go a little further in your pronunciation skills, you can connect this je with the last sound we talked about in Unit 5. Remember the sound, because when we say television, this je, it's a connection of je and okay? So let's listen again.
Welcome to Movie Night Television. Our guest is Tom Potts, who stars in an unusual thriller called Asian Treasure. Why did you decide to take on this role?
It was a difficult decision, Helen. I play the part of an amazing illusionist.
There are so many collisions and explosions in the movie that I thought you would never find that treasure.
It's true. Occasionally, I was frightened for my own life.
And the conclusion is certainly surprising.
All right. So guys, thank you very much for being with me in this video here. We'll come back again. You can go back to your study guide and do practice your pronunciation. It's the best way to have a better speaking. Your speaking becomes more clear, and when you listen to people, it gets much easier to understand what they're saying. Okay? Good work. Be right back soon with the next video. Bye.